Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review the new Netflix movie The Open House, a movie that has just become available to be streamed on Netflix, and this film is in a lot of ways one of the most frustrating films I've ever seen, and I shall tell you the reasons why. But firstly, what's this film about? Well, what we have here is there is a family who have a teenage son, looks about 16, 17, something like that. And at the beginning of the movie, there's a mother and a father and the son, and unfortunately the father is in an accident, hit and run, and is killed. So they can't afford to stay where they are, but her sister, the mother's sister, who has an empty house somewhere way out in the country that they say they can go and stay in for free. However, it's up for sale, so once a week it becomes an open house, so people can just turn up, walk round, and decide if they want to buy it or not. You know what an open house is. So on that pretense, that's what they do. They head up there, out into the country. On the way, they meet some of the locals, and it all seems a bit off kilter, a bit weird. Some of the locals seem a bit odd and make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. It reminded me a lot about from the movie Get Out, you know, how that made you feel uncomfortable. And I was thinking, oh, are they going to go down the Get Out vibe here, where the locals are a bit bonkers, and you're never really quite sure. So they get to the house, and weird things start happening over the next few days. You know, bowls of cereal move, phones go missing, shower turns cold, keep going up and down the cellar to turn the shower on and off, etc, etc, etc. Build tensions within the home. The mother and the son keep falling out, etc, etc. Again, they keep meeting the locals, come to the house, say hello, all a bit odd, all a bit weird, and it just keeps intensifying the things that are happening, and the weirdness, and the tension. And that's all I'm going to say on the movie, because if you are intending on watching it, I don't want to spoil it. So that's the story, and it's all hunky-dory. The first 3/4 of this film, while it wasn't perfect by any stretch, it was incredibly slow paced, and I was in danger of losing interest a number of times, but it just managed to grab your attention and keep your interest in the movie, because it was well acted, and it was pretty decent at building the tension. And at one point I actually remember thinking to myself, it was actually quite clever, because I was feeling as frustrated as the main characters were about what was going on, and I thought, oh, this is quite a clever way they're doing this movie. But as it turns out, it wasn't. It was just frustrating for frustrating's sake, I suppose. And then when the thing finally happens at the end, what does happen? It is fairly brutal, I suppose, but the ending is one of the worst endings I think I can ever remember. It properly sucks, this ending of this movie. It just makes a mockery of everything that's gone on before it. All these, you know, when you're watching a thriller like this and you've got these theories in your head, oh, I wonder if it's this person, or they've got to be involved. And, you know, they play with this idea that the locals are a bit weird and a bit off kilter, and you think, well, they're going to do something with this. And all these plans that you have in your head with this movie, none of it. They don't pull the trigger on any of it. The ending sucks. It's rubbish. I can't stress that enough. It's a terrible, terrible ending, and it made me want to put my foot through the screen. It didn't give you any kind of payoff at all, in any way, shape or form, and I just can't stress enough that the ending completely ruins and strangles this movie, till the point where when you turn it off, you think to yourself, I never want to think about this movie again, I never want to watch it again. Awful ending. And I remember I was looking on an IMDb database, and it had such a low score, I think something like 4 out of 10. I'm thinking, while I was watching, I'm thinking, that's a very low score, it's not that this. I understand that score now, I really, really do. Whereas I don't think it's just as bad as that. I'll probably give it a 5 out of 10, and I think I'm being a bit generous there. But it's well made, but the ending absolutely crushes and destroys this movie, guys.